Hey everybody, it's Batty Chatty once again. Sorry about not being here yesterday. It couldn't be helped. I was taken out to lunch. And, oh, I see Darren is here, so let me get him on. Adding him now. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, here I am. Ooh, I made it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's way too bright out here. But, I'm going inside where it's not so bright because, I like dark places apparently. And I'll be able to talk better because I won't be squinting because the sun's like popping right into my eyes. You'll all have to forgive me. I actually almost forgot about this.
Well, I did postpone it from yesterday.
Oh, no, it's okay. I mean, the postponing, listen, I remembered all day. I get out of my doctor's appointment and I'm driving to go get some food. I call my aunt because I haven't talked to her in 2 months. And then I get your message and it's like, holy shit, I forgot.
Well, time flies when you're having fun.
You kept me from getting out of the car to get food, but that's okay because I would have spent money to do it. And right now, I don't need to do that. So I'm home and it's hot.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn the air conditioning on because, well, that's what I do when I'm hot. Hi, everyone.
Hey,
we're here. It's dark.
Hope you're all doing wonderful on this Thursday afternoon. Well, afternoon for me. Some of you guys, it's nighttime.
Well, no, it's afternoon here, too. More like evening. Air. I need air. And I have air. I feel good now. Whoops. I'm dropping money all over the place like rocks. So anyway. All right. Let's get ourselves together here. Actually, you are together. I'm not, but I'm going to be there in a moment. And I need my pillows because nothing makes me happy.
You're getting all situated.
Well, yeah, I'm not situated just yet. I got to go get my charger. But no, listen, do carry on. I think we're both ready. I'm ready. I may not seem like it. I may seem like I'm a little bit of a lunatic, but that's because I am. But anyway, I'm on vacation.
I do that all the time, Ashley, and think it's a different day when it's not actually that day.
All day I thought it was Friday.
Don't
you hate when that happens? I hate when I think it's one day and it's not. I mean, I had 1 week where I actually went through the whole week a day ahead of what it really was. That was embarrassing. That was really embarrassing. Because I normally don't do that. I normally know what day it is. Today's my Friday. It's Thursday.
Today's your Friday.
Today is
It is Thursday.
So, it is Thursday, but
tomorrow I'm getting my roots done.
Hey, Marcella.
Needed. Oh.
Okay. I'm here. I am ready.
Thank you. It's for our shirt, Randy.
Okay, so as we advertised for yesterday's show, which is now today's show, we are going to talk about the films of Wes Craven. But we're going to start with our top 10.
First, we'll do our top 10.
Which is top 10 plus horror video games. I just kind of pulled that out of my rear at like the last minute because it's been talked about. It's something a lot of people like. So what the hell? Yeah. So,
well,
Erica and I were discussing this.
At all. I'm just not. If you put a gaming controller in my hand, I look at it like, what am I supposed to do with this? I seriously don't even know how to work it. But I do know some gamers, and some people have told me some games they like, and I did look on Google for some games as well, so I do have some listed.
Okay. I actually have some, so I can actually talk.
You can actually talk about them.
Yes.
Good.
I play enough horror games. Horror is my thing. Right now,
good.
anybody who's a gamer, my main game that I'm playing right now is Killing Floor 2. I can't help it. I love blowing the heads off of weird-looking creatures with all different kinds of guns. It's cool.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to kick it off with a couple of my favorites. One of my favorite games, aside from, Killing Floor 2, which I'm just kind of going to throw in the random pile, is right now Outlast. I don't know if anybody's played Outlast, but that game is fucking frightening.
Outlast. I have that on my list.
Actually. Outlast?
Yeah,
Outlast
that was on the top horror games.
It's frightening.
Is it?
You don't play. It's unlike it's a first person game, but it's not a shooter, and you're not fighting. What you're doing is you're recording on camera, and you have to basically run and then run away. You have to be able to hide so you don't get caught, and it's very dark. There are moments where you'll be running and you're just like, you got something right on your heels. It's scary as shit. It scared the hell out of me.
Really?
It really did. Yes.
Well, I've heard from a lot of people that maybe movies don't really scare them, but that games can scare them.
They can.
Yeah.
That game scared me. And another one that I bought called Layers of Fear. Again, it's a first person. It's not a fighting game. It's a first person.
Layers of Fear. I had that one down too.
Well, I have it. So it's a puzzle game, but it's a very frightening game. That's one of those games where it's more atmospheric, but it's atmospheric without music. And you never know what's going to happen and when. So that was a game that I could only play for a few minutes at a time, and maybe put about a week in between each time I played it. Just because it was that frightening. But that's just me. It's a frightening game.
See, I would be frightened on a game because I'd be like, I don't know how to control it. How I'm going to die like right away. That would be my most frightening part.
I know. Trust me, you'd be surprised how frightening they can make a game. And, aside from that, what I'm finding is that a lot of the better games are first person. Another example, which, he looks like Negan. I get that a lot. Thank you. I take that as a great compliment. But this other game is Alien Isolation.
I absolutely, had that one on the list,
positively, love that game. Well, it's fun. It's fun when you're running away. It's like no matter where you go, this alien finds you, and it's one alien. It's not multiple aliens. It's just one that is chasing you around this giant space. Yeah. It's only one. You have to learn how to survive.
But he's super keen and always finds you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's the point of the game otherwise?
Well, yeah. That's true. You're sitting there, he's never going to find me.
No, exactly. John, I do remember the game Manhunt. Manhunt was awesome. It was the GTA of horror, if you will. I remember that game. It was actually made by the same people who made Grand Theft Auto. So I remember Manhunt. Manhunt was amazing. In fact, I could probably still buy Manhunt. From last time I went on there, they were... no, you know what? That's if I do PS Now. Never mind. But Manhunt was a great game. That was a frightening game because you've got all these weird gangs and all these weird people looking for you. and you're just walking around beating the shit out of them, but you never know where they're going to be. It's awesome. Yeah, I loved Manhunt. What else do I? Oh, another great one that I have, which I really need to start playing again because I never really beat it, was The Evil Within. That was a frightening, creepy,
I have
nasty.
that one down too.
That was a great game. I love all the horror games I play, and we'll even go back to the original. As far as I'm concerned, this is where all the horror games started, with Splatterhouse.
Oh, wow.
Take it easy, John. Yes, Splatterhouse was where it started. And I mean, it was your pixelated 8-bit game. You walk around smacking things with a 2x4, and it got creepy, but Splatterhouse is where I think the first gore related horror game came in. And now it's not even, I mean, now it runs rampant. I mean, Killing Floor 2 is about as bloody as you'll get. Actually, take it back. Evil Within is pretty bloody. But then you have what else was I going to say? There's so many games. Until Dawn. I have a game called Until Dawn, which is
I have that one written down.
Until Dawn is a great game in the respect that it's more like it's a story more than just a game. It's like you're actually making the decisions for these people as they're being hunted down by a serial killer. And just the twists and turns. But what I love about it is they actually got some like Hayden Panettiere is in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is Rami Malek. If you're a Mr. Robot fan, you know who he is. He's actually going to be playing Freddie Mercury in the upcoming Bohemian Rhapsody movie. And it's a crazy game. I mean, it is an absolutely crazy game. But the thing is you've got to find a way to make. There's a way to do it. I don't know how, but you can go through the game and all of your characters will survive. I only made it through with only 2 characters surviving out of 8. It's a creepy game. Yes. I don't know how many I've run off, but now it's your turn to throw a couple out there.
Okay, well, like I said, I am not a gamer, so these are not games that I've ever played, but, you know, I hear a lot of people talk a lot of really good stuff about the
Until Dawn.
game.
Okay, well, listen. Silent Hill is a staple of horror games. It's a staple. It's where it's where horror. I mean, I don't want to say it's where horror really started getting good, because we know what title started out with that. And I'll let you bring that one up. But Silent Hill, they've all been amazing games. And the first one, I remember when the first one came out, I had just moved up to Maryland, and I saw it at Blockbuster. Yes, this is when Blockbuster still existed too. So
yeah,
it's
been out a long time.
Yeah, I decided to rent it. We got back, and I'm like, all right, well, let's see what it's like. Scared the living shit out of everybody in the apartment. So Silent Hill is absolutely a staple for horror. It really is.
Here, the next one I have is Resident Evil.
You have to mention Resident Evil.
And I have watched people play some of the different Resident Evil games. You know, like I said, I don't play the games, but I have watched people play that one. That was a really long time ago, and I don't really remember that well.
It's evolved. It has evolved. It has evolved a great deal.
Yeah.
It used to be where when you played the game, it was played from different angles, no matter how you played it. This is the first one. Actually, it's just the first, second, and third. once it got to Resident Evil 4, it changed perspective. And from there, it went from third person over the shoulder to now where it's first person, but it always gets creepier. It just gets different, you know?
Yeah.
Bobby, the name of that serial killer game is Until Dawn. So, Resident Evil is a game of evolution. I mean, it's a great horror game, and it's evolved. One that I'll actually compare to Resident Evil as far as gameplay once it evolved to 4 and 5 and maybe even 6. And probably my favorite horror game of all time is Dead Space.
Dead Space. I did not have that one there.
Okay. Dead Space is single-handedly one of the most gut-wrenching atmospheric horror games you'll ever play. In fact, I'll even take it up a notch. And the first one was very haunting.
Uh-huh.
You are investigating the radio silence aboard a planet cracker that when you get on there, you realize that there's this thing called the marker. And this marker does something to people where it turns them into these creatures called necromorphs. And you're running around the ship just trying to get it active and trying to, get out of there in one piece. And it's just harrowing. But what's nice is, as opposed to Resident Evil, where you have the weapons, you can actually upgrade and craft the weapons and make them even more dangerous. Plus, you have a whole bunch of different types of guns, a whole bunch of different types of armor that you can wear. And then you take it to the next level, which is Dead Space 2, which was in a much bigger scenario, which is a space station, yet it felt much more claustrophobic. That was a
weird.
fun game.
Yeah.
And then it introduced us to the Regenerator, which I hate that fucker. But anyway, Dead Space was, fighting in zero gravity was amazing. Oh, so much fun. Anyway. So yeah. But yes, Brandy brings up a good one, is Doom. The Doom series is a very long-standing horror first-person shooter. And that's evolved also. Doom is... Doom 2 was where I started getting into it. I loved Doom 2. That was a PC game. And then it just got hairier and hairier. And the next thing you know is they're coming out with Doom 3 for Xbox, I think. And that just completely turned things around. But between Dead Space, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, I think that right there is your trifecta of horror games. But there are just so many. You had Fear, F-E-A-R. I don't even remember what it stood for.
I had that written down. I also have BioShock written down.
BioShock is a great game too. I don't know if I'd consider it horror. Maybe BioShock and BioShock 2. Not necessarily BioShock Infinite. But I didn't get very far in BioShock Infinite. I don't know if I really even tried. Then you've got the Friday the 13th game.
Yeah.
You have Dead by Daylight or Dead Before Daylight, which is actually a pretty fun horror game.
And then I've also got Left 4 Dead.
Oh, yeah, the zombie games. Left 4 Dead, Dead Island. What is it? There's another one that I can't remember. What's the name of the zombie game that takes place in the mall? Where you run around, you get to craft different weapons.
I don't know.
Oh, hell, it's not Left 4 Dead. It's not Left 4 Dead. I can't remember. But anyway, there's a lot of great zombie games out there. How could I forget? The Last of Us. The Last of Us. Forget it. that right there is probably hands down one of the best zombie games of this generation. I haven't
Everybody's
played
saying
Dying
Dying Light.
Dead Rising. That's it, Dead Rising. I haven't played Dying Light. I've heard it's very good. But The Last of Us is just untouchable when it comes to the zombie games. It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. You're responsible for taking this girl across, I guess, across the US. It's like it takes place in Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C., and you have to get her to this clinic where they're supposed to help her, I guess. But amazing game. Amazing game. The Last of Us is just untouchable. And there are way too many other horror games to talk about.
Well, that's my list. I mean, we've said everything I wrote down because, you know, I'm a good trusting person of Google if I don't know.
Well, there's one game coming out. I think there's a couple of games coming out next year. If anybody gets a chance, jump on YouTube and look for the videos for them. There's a game coming out called GTFO that looks absolutely frightening. There's a game coming out called Scorn, which is based on the work of H.R. Giger.
Oh,
and
nice.
The ultimate zombie game, this is going to be the ultimate zombie game, is called Days Gone. You've got to watch the video for Days Gone. It's like Grand Theft Auto with zombies. It's an open world game. It's just craziness.
Well, awesome.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a good one.
A lot of good ones. A lot of good ones. I'll be keeping my eyes open for them, too.
All right, so let's get into the Wes movies. And you know how I kind of like doing them, kind of chronologically. Well, it's just easier that way we don't miss any, and then that way, you know, some stuff is talked about that nobody knows about instead of everybody just talking about Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream. You know, we'll see some other stuff.
No, I agree. It's better to do it chronologically because at least you cover everything.
Well, and then we know where we left off and where to come back to.
And all you'll hear me say is I only saw the first one.
Yes, but that's okay. I already know that.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of saying that if you couldn't tell.
Well, you shouldn't be if it's true, and no big deal.
Which it usually is.
All right, so we're going to start off. I don't know if I should even mention in this, but it is the first credited movie to his name.
Okay.
He only produced it, though. It's called Together. It's from 1971. And it says that the 1971 film, directed by Sean Cunningham, was the first film that attracted Wes Craven, who wanted to be in the film business. So, and then this guy later collaborated with him on Last House on the Left. So, I don't know. I guess it was pivotal to him getting into the business, but
Sean Cunningham.
I've never seen it.
Sean Cunningham, I think, is responsible for directing a couple of the Friday the 13th movies too.
Oh, okay.
If I recall.
So then in 1972, he did Last House on the Left, which he directed, wrote, and was the editor.
Great film, too. Yes, by the way, I saw both versions.
Wow, you did?
I did.
I have to say I like the remake better.
I think it's generational.
Well, I just think that the original one didn't age very well.
Yeah, I agree.
I hadn't seen either one until this year. So that was, you know, so not looking through any nostalgia glasses at all, because I didn't see it when I was younger and I didn't see it when I was more impressionable. I saw them both this year, and I liked the remake better from seeing them both this year.
But I think you also got to remember is that with the remake, nowadays we're touching on subjects they didn't touch back then.
Yeah.
And we're a lot more visceral as well as visual with them. So they got away with a lot more. But I did enjoy the remake very much. Very much. I thought Garrett Dillahunt was a prick. I love Aaron Paul. But watching, it's like the revenge was more out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was more.
I did enjoy it.
And that's probably why I liked it better. But I mean,
okay,
because I really like revenge movies.
okay. I'm
Huh?
I'm okay with some of them.
Well, I mean, some of them go too far, but I really like them.
Yeah, I do too.
So then then it seems like he took a break for quite a while, and he picked back up in 1977 with The Hills Have Eyes.
Okay, still haven't seen that yet.
Which has Dee Wallace in it.
Michael Berryman.
Yeah, there's so says written, directed, and edited, starring Susan. I know I'm gonna butcher this name. Lanier.
Lanier.
Probably, I'm not sure. Michael Berryman, Dee Wallace, and to tell you the truth, this movie totally scared me when I was a little kid. I mean, it was scary.
I remember when it came out too.
I do too.
I just never saw it.
No.
Never had a desire. I do now, but I didn't then.
Have you seen the remake?
A little bit of it.
A little bit of it. I mean, it's a shot-for-shot remake. And it's an excellent remake. I really like the remake, too. In fact, I might like it more, too, now.
Okay. I'll have to give it a watch.
Yeah, watch them. I mean, they're both great. But...
Okay.
So then in 1978, he did a TV movie called Stranger in Our House, otherwise known as Summer of Fear, and that is a Linda Blair movie.
Wow. Haven't seen that one. Haven't even heard of it.
Well, I mean, it's a made-for-TV movie, but it's Linda Blair horror movie.
Huh? I'll have to look out for that one. If I want to remember what it is, I'll just look on
Wikipedia. It's right here.
I can do that.
Yeah, because it goes by two names: Stranger in Our House or Summer of Fear. So.
Okay.
Then he did some cinematography for The Evolution of Snuff and Here Comes the Tigers. But he was just a cinematographer for those two.
Know nothing about him.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, one's a comedy film, and there's nothing on Evolution of Snuff at all. Nothing comes up at all.
Wonder why.
I don't know. Someone snuffed it out.
Maybe they said I'd tell you, but I'd have to kill you, and they weren't lying.
Oh, thank you, George. He's one of my favorites too. Let's see here. In 1981, he did Deadly Blessing.
I remember that. I didn't see it, at least not that I recall, but I remember it.
And he was the director and the writer for that.
Swamp
And
Thing?
I don't. Huh? 1982, he did Swamp Thing. That's the next one.
Swamp Thing?
Swamp Thing. Yeah. Which I loved that movie when I was a little kid.
Louis Jourdan and Adrienne Barbeau.
Yes.
I loved that movie.
I remember watching it over and over again when I was little.
Oh, if I find a copy of it, I think I might buy it.
Huh?
If I find a copy of it, I think I might buy it.
It was a good one.
And what's funny is if anybody realizes or recognizes this, Swamp Thing is a DC comic.
Yeah, no, it is.
Which I find very funny. But I still enjoyed it a lot.
So then, in 1984, he did Invitation to Hell, which was made for television, supernatural horror film, and it got an Emmy, I guess.
I'll have to look for that one too.
Oh no, it was nominated for a Primetime Emmy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to look for that one. Invitation to Hell. Okay.
Invitation to Hell from 1984.
Okay. I will have to look for that.
Then, of course, since we're in 1984, he came out with A Nightmare on Elm Street.
How did it get to 1984? I thought it was earlier than that.
No, it was 84.
All right.
Which,
scared the shit out of me.
The original Nightmare on Elm Street is probably my very favorite nightmare of his.
Oh yeah.
You know, Heather was just so good in it, and watching Tina die was so good. You've got the introduction of Johnny Depp. I mean, his first movie. Just everything about it. You've got Lynn Shay in it as a teacher. I mean, there's just so many good things about that movie. And I know a lot of people say, oh, there's some bad acting and whatever. But
just bad acting all over the place. I mean, so what?
But
I didn't think it was bad acting.
The people that, well, like her mom, maybe she wasn't the best actress, but I think it worked for that role.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, she was playing a drunk, scatterbrained mom, and it worked.
Yeah. John Saxon played the father.
Yes, that was a great role.
Yes. I agree, George. The remake.
I watched it yesterday because they were doing was it yesterday that they were doing a Nightmare on Elm Street marathon? I think it was. Anyway, yeah, I watch it all the time. I love that movie.
Oh, yeah. Deadly Friend.
Let's see here. The next one is from 1985 called Chiller.
Heard of it.
I've
heard of it. I don't know if I've seen it, though.
And it was a made-for-television horror, which premiered on CBS, directed by Wes Craven. It's got Paul Sorvino in it. So there you go.
I think I missed that one. I've heard of it.
I think I missed it, too.
Yeah, I think I missed it.
Then the same year, 85, we have The Hills Have Eyes Part 2.
Yeah.
Well, you don't watch sequels anyway.
I do. That's one I
You didn't even see the first one. Huh?
Yeah, the second one, I kind of felt like The Hills Have Eyes 2 didn't need to be made. But,
I don't really remember seeing the 1985 one. I remember seeing the newer one, and the newer one was not very good.
Nah. I heard the second one sucked. And I believed it too.
Then we've got The Twilight Zone.
Love that movie.
TV series, episode 5. Says this is the first of 2 revivals of Rod Sterling's acclaimed television series. It doesn't say which episode, except that it's TV series episode 5 of The Twilight Zone from 1985.
Okay. I believe it.
Then we have 1986 is Deadly Friend.
That was Christy Swanson.
Was it?
Yeah, I thought Deadly Blessing was, but no, it's Christy Swanson. Deadly Friend.
I really like Christy Swanson.
I think that's the movie where Christy Swanson blows Anne Ramsey's head open with the basketball.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen that clip a million times. I've not seen this movie. I should see it. I haven't.
I've got to look. I got to see it again. I can't remember if I saw the whole thing. I think I did, but I'm getting old. Gaps in my memory.
All right. I keep watching the time because I'm like, oh. So then we've got 1987, A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors. So obviously he didn't have anything to do with the second one, I guess, because it wasn't listed.
Oh, okay. Probably for good reason.
Well, it's weird because there's so many people that hate the second one, but there's oddly a cult following of the second one as well. So you've got flip side to that, because there's a bunch of people that really love the second one.
It was It really was. It was
To follow up such greatness with what that was not. It fell short for me. It got much better with Dream Warriors. I really liked Part 3.
Part 3.
I mean, you've got Patricia Arquette. I mean,
Lawrence Fishburne.
Plus Nancy's back. I mean, any Nightmare on Elm Street film with Nancy in it, it is pretty much one of my favorites. I mean, so you've got the first one, the third one, and New Nightmare, and those are my staples.
New Nightmare was actually really good.
It was. But a lot of people really like Part 3 even better than the original one.
It's tough.
There's a bunch of people that love Part 3. I actually love the first one the best, but But Part 3 is a close second for me.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
See, Brandy loves Part 2. That's her favorite one. The second is my favorite one. See, there's a lot of people that love the second one.
Oh yeah.
Then let's see here. In 1988, which I love this movie and I own it, is The Serpent and the Rainbow.
Oh yes. That's a trippy film.
Such a good movie.
That is a trip of a film.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because you've got the whole sort of zombie thing, but you've got voodoo stuff, and you've got, and it's supposed to be based on a true story. Of some sort.
Yeah,
Huh?
I actually have it. I got to watch that again. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Oh, it's super good.
It is.
I watch it pretty often.
I really need to go back and watch it. It has been a long time. It really is.
All right. You know, he did a lot. He's done a lot of stuff for TV. I didn't realize.
But
The next one is TV series co-creator, The People Next Door.
never heard of it.
It says an American sitcom. September 18th until October 16th of 89. That's
one season.
one season. Yeah, so I guess it didn't do very well.
Apparently.
But so there's that. And then also in 1989 is Shocker.
I liked Shocker. I did like Shocker. That was a good.
I knew you were gonna say that.
It wasn't my favorite, but it was fun.
No, it was fun. It
A lot
was a
of
fun
fun.
one.
Yeah. That's one I wouldn't mind seeing again.
I watched it not too terribly long ago. Probably less than 6 months ago. Let's see here. Then we've got another TV movie called Night Visions.
I remember
1990.
You
remember Night Visions?
I remember of it. I don't remember if I saw it or not.
It says American made-for-television supernatural thriller. Co-written and directed by Wes Craven.
Trying to remember that one. I was only 18. I'll have to look that one up, though.
Let's see here. Then the next one from 1991, year I graduated high school, is The People Under the Stairs.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love that movie.
A Kid Named Fool.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. That was a really good movie. Hey, Kate. That was great. Yeah, I enjoyed that one very much. Very much.
Well, and and I didn't see it right away. Like I probably the first time I saw that was probably 15 years ago. I mean, and I watch it pretty often now, but I hadn't seen it for quite a few years. I guess I was off doing other stuff.
I haven't seen People Under the Stairs in I don't know how long. But
well, they were playing it on all my movie channels there for a while. So
okay. I gotta look. I'm sure it's somewhere.
Yeah.
I always find it.
Well, just that mom and dad duo is just crazy.
They were nut jobs.
They were absolutely nutty.
Yes. Nuttier than a Snickers bar.
Something like that. Let's see here. Then there was another TV series he did called Nightmare Cafe in 1992.
That I think I remember. I think wasn't that based off of Nightmare on Elm Street?
It says American science fiction television series which aired on NBC.
Hi, Kate.
For an abridged first season from January to April, while the overall tone of the program was that of a mystical fantasy, it frequently incorporated elements of dark humor, horror, and even outright comedy.
Okay.
So that's what it says about that.
Okay, then.
But I've not seen it, but it makes me kind of want to see it.
Yeah, me too. But I remember it. I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Let's see here. Then 1993, he had Body Bags.
I remember Body Bags, but I didn't see it. Or did I?
Which is a horror comedy and anthology television film originally made for television, featuring 3 unconnected stories with bookend segments featuring John Carpenter and Tobe Hooper.
Yes, I did see it.
As deranged morgue attendants.
Yes.
And it was directed by John Carpenter.
I do remember that. I remember that very well. I just don't remember.
Yeah, no, I have.
I just don't remember what happened in the movie, but I do remember the movie, and I did see it.
I have not seen it. I should.
I should see it again too.
All right.
What else we got? What else has Mr. Craven bestowed upon us?
1994's The New Nightmare. So evidently, he only had stuff to do with my 3 favorite ones, it looks like.
Well, there's your answer.
Is that why those are my favorites?
Must be. Must be.
So we kind of already touched on that one. So we'll skip to 95, which is Vampire in Brooklyn.
That was Eddie Murphy, right?
It was Eddie Murphy.
I never saw that.
And Angela Bassett, I believe. You know, it's not bad. I mean, for an Eddie Murphy vampire comedy, it's not as bad as you might think it would be. It isn't.
I don't think it was that bad. I just never got drawn to it. But
no, I was never quite drawn to it either. But
which is okay. I'm sure.
I did watch it. I did watch it probably a couple months ago in the morning, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, because I hadn't seen it in forever. I mean, I know people that's their very favorite vampire movie. So
okay.
I do. I know some people that's their favorite vampire.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Listen, there are movies out there. There are movies out there that are always going to be a favorite to people, no matter how crappy they are to others. Always going to happen.
Absolutely.
It's always going to happen.
But
expect no less.
No, I was pleasantly surprised, and I actually got my husband to watch it with me, and he was all, "Is this Eddie Murphy?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Did he play multiple characters in that movie also?
Not that I remember.
Oh well, then that kind of, you know, like
Not
Coming to America.
Remember.
I mean, you know. But anyway, we're not talking about Coming to America.
All right, so the next one is 1995, Mind Ripper.
Mind Ripper?
Mind Ripper, a.k.a. The Hills Have Eyes 3.
A.k.a.
Otherwise
the movie
known
that
as
didn't
The
need
Hills
to be
Have
made
Eyes
at all.
3.
I didn't know there was
The Hills Still Have Eyes or The Outpost. So it was a horror film released on HBO in 1995. And it stars Lance Hendrickson and Giovanni Ribisi.
What movie was that again?
Mind Ripper. Also known as The Hills Have Eyes 3, The Hills Still Have Eyes, or The Outpost.
That movie needed... The last thing that movie needed was 4 titles. It just didn't need to be made.
4 titles.
Whatever. Film with 4 titles, and nobody's ever heard of it. Who the hell would forget a film with 4 titles? Anyone else see it? Does anybody else?
Movies often have different titles in different countries and stuff, but
not all in the same country.
What?
I said not all in the same country.
Not usually, but I mean, I mean, I really like both of those actors, Lance Hendrickson and Giovanni Ribisi.
I do too. I really do.
I mean, I might have to check that out.
I'll pass.
All right. So then that brings us to 1996, Scream. And
loved the first one.
You haven't seen
the second one. Didn't bother with the rest. Loved the first one.
Oh, I love the first one the most.
I don't think I saw the second. You know what? I know I didn't see anything beyond the first one. I didn't care.
They're actually all good, but the first one is by far the best one.
Of course. The original is always the best. Well, for the most part.
You know, that opening scene with, I mean, that is such a classic, unbelievably awesome opening scene, you know, with Drew Barrymore on the phone and doing the popcorn and then actually getting killed, you know, because, you know, when nobody had seen it yet and her face is on the poster and she was huge right then, huge star. And nobody, I mean, Neve Campbell was a very kind of unknown star. I mean, sort of. I mean, she was in The Craft and all that, but she wasn't some total, you know, star power kind of
not at all
person. So when Drew got it in the first scene, it was just like, where do we go from here? You know, because you were thinking that she was going to be the star of the whole movie.
Yeah.
And that was just awesome.
I enjoyed it. I loved the cast that they had for the first one. The direction that they went with it. It was just a fun all-around movie. Even though I'm not a slasher film fan.
Right.
I take them where I can get them.
Well, I don't really want to cut this short, but I think Scream is a good place to leave it off.
Okay.
Because I have a client coming, and I don't want him to show up and me be like, oh wait, I'm still on my live feed. Because we still have, and then I think that's plenty to leave off so that we have plenty for next week's show.
Okay.
So then
like that.
We'll do the second half. The second half of Wes's for next week.
I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. So next Wednesday, we'll be back here to talk more about Wes Craven. Because that's what we do. We come back and we talk about things.
Because she didn't want to be locked in for 3 movies? Oh, really?
I did not know that.
You know, I did hear that it was Drew's idea to be killed or to be Casey. So that's took the role of Casey instead of Sydney. Yeah, no, that's
did a good job.
Yeah, no, I think that's what made the movie even better than what it probably was gonna be by doing that for some reason.
Yeah, you know what? I love Drew Barrymore in a lead, but I think that was more for Neve Campbell than Drew Barrymore.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that was a better role for her.
Yeah,
But Neve Campbell was also a hit off of the show Party of Five at the time.
Party of Five. Had The Craft come out yet in '96? I think it had.
I think so.
I think it had.
Craft came out first, if I'm correct.
So, I mean... Yeah, no, I was a big fan of Party of Five. I watched that all the time. So So I really liked her. And so when I saw her, I'm like, oh, okay, no, she's going to be the lead. Okay, got it.
All right.
Oh,
Everyone,
thank you, everybody.
thank you all. You
Glad
came,
to be
you
back.
saw.
I'm glad you guys all stopped by and saw us and gave us your info or your input. Thank you, thank you. And we'll see you in full steam tomorrow. Yeah?
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that, to be honest with you, because this one got delayed.
we still have to come up with something to do over there.
Yeah, we do. We'll figure it out.
Get your thinking cap
We
on.
figure things out.
Huh?
That's what we do. We figure things out. We'll get it. We will get it. We got it.
See everybody later. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Ciao.